Hello and welcome to Big Orbit's unboxing video of the new Final Fantasy booster set, Opus 6. My name is James and today I'll be going through this box and showing you what's inside. So I'll open it up. As you see on the front we have a really nice illustration of Fujin. I'm really happy with the Final Fantasy 2 artwork that they have in the set. Oh, let it focus a bit. Struggling a bit there. So they got this a really good artist to do a lot of the Final Fantasy 2 cards in this set, and he'll be doing Final Fantasy 5 cards in this next set as well. And Fujin is, I really like Fujin, so it's nice to see. So we open that up, okay, and we'll start opening the packs. So we have Evoker. So they did reprint some things. As you can see, it will show the new product code and the new number and the old number. So if it has the old number there, that does mean it is a reprint, so you can't just run 3 of this and 3 of the one from Opus 1. Then Celes, Cakesith, Geomancer, Black Mage, Astrologian, Militesi Coal, a foil Guy. Now Guy is a really good hero. He has Brave. For each category 2 character other than Guy you control, Guy gains plus 1000 power. That includes monsters and backups. And when Guy is put from the field to the break zone, activate all the forwards you control. So he has Brave, and when he dies he can stand all your guys back up, which is really useful, especially as he's so big, so he can just take on lots of attacks before he dies. Then we have Riku, Cypher, Hugh, and Hraesvelgr, who is a legend and the light card. So when Hraesvelgr enters the field, select one of the 3 following actions. Skip your opponent's next attack phase in their turn. Remove the top 5 cards of your deck from the game if you do so. Choose one character in your break zone, add it to your hand, or remove all the cards in your opponent's break zone from the game. Now the first one is probably going to be the most popular, as it can either prevent you from dying or just let you set up for a bit longer. The remove characters from your opponent's break zone is also really good, because, well, against something that isn't, it's not exactly meta, but it's a really cool deck, the Golbez Archfiends deck. This just gets rid of all these Archfiends for you. And choose one character from your break zone and add it to your hand is probably the least helpful in general, but it is really good. Always, all that recovery from break zone is always really good. But compared to the other 2, it's not quite as exciting. Then we have Kyros, Gigas, Summoner, Dominion Legionary, Zoo, Astrologian, Scholar, Fremelda, who's a hero. So when Fremelda enters the field, choose one active forward opponent controls. Deal it 4000 damage for each Job Sword Saint you control. If I remember correctly, there are only 2 Job Sword Saints now, and one of them is her, and the other one is Orlando. But there might be 1 or 2 others, I can't quite remember. Then we have Zell, Diablos, Matt, and Kurosame. So he has EX. When Kurosame enters the field, you may search for one card named Emina, or one card named Kazusa, and add it to your hand. The ice forwards other than Kurosame you control gain plus 1000 power. So he's, for a 5 cost, 7k isn't very much, but he's kind of a 3 cost because you get 2 CP into your hand by playing him, and also buffing your opponent's stuff. And Paladin, Goblin, Dark Knight, Black Mage, Illusionist, Geomancer, Shock Trooper, Edir, Foil, Hades, Neo Bahamut, Leviathan, and Warrior of Light, who's the hero. So when Warrior of Light enters the field, choose one job standard unit of cost 2 or less from your break zone and play it onto the field. When job standard unit enters the field, Warrior of Light gains 2000 power to the end of turn, and Indomitable Charge. S2 Earth. Until the end of the turn, all the forwards you control gain plus 3000 and Brave. Now that S ability is what sort of gives him the hero status, really, because that is a very good ability. 3000 is a lot in this game, and Brave, just, you can freely attack without worrying about your opponent's next attack. Ninja, Kyros, Scholar, Dark Knight, White Mage, Scholar, Dominion Legionary, Snow Giant Foil, Snow, Layla, Raijin, and Fremelda again. Then we have Machinist, Evoker, I'll go through them like this, Yuan, Shinra, Geomancer, Black Mage, Astrologian, Foil Selfie, then a non-foil Selfie, Matt, Draco Baltian, and Arisha Al-Rashia. So, pay 1 Lightning and dull her, discard 1 summon, search for a summon and add it to your hand. Now, a summon for a summon, it's a pretty good trade really, because you get rid of something that doesn't really do anything in this situation, and then you get something that just beats your opponent. Very, very nice. And we have Ninja, Summoner, Puge? I don't know how to say that. Ward, Zoo, Quetzalcoatl, Cactua, Foil Neo Bahamut, Izael, Zel, Layla, and Squall. So Squall's a hero. If you control if your opponent has 2 or less cards in his or her hand, Squall gains haste and first strike. If your opponent has no cards in their hand, Squall gains plus 3000k. So an 8k 2-drop with first strike and haste potentially. Works well into the discard. They don't get much discard in this set, I don't believe. Or I believe, but they don't really need it, seeing as in the previous sets they've had a lot of discarding. So Gigas, Soldier, Ewan, Evoker, Locke, Illusionist, Chocobo, Epitaph, who's in foil, Diablos, Estinian, Titan, and Lizardford. So he's a hero. When Lizardford enters the field, reveal 5 cards from the top of your deck, play 1 Earth character of 5 or less among them onto the field, and return the other cards to the bottom of the deck in any order. Pay 1 Wind and Dull. Put Lizardford into the break zone, choose 1 forward during this turn. The next damage it's dealt is 0 instead. Pretty good. I mean, in mono wind, it's excellent. And if you can get big things out like, what is she? Kenny Senna from 14, and I'm trying to think of some other big ones. Oh, there's Bartz, the EX Bartz, who on enter stands all your wind characters, I think. So there are some really good targets for it. Summoner Chukamog, Summoner Monk, Colossus, Chime, Bard, and a foil Yuna, who is a legend. So when Yuna enters the field, play 1 Job Gullwings forward from your hand onto the field, or search for 1 Gullwing forward other than Yuna and add it to your hand. Pay 1, remove 3 summons from your break zone from the game, choose 1 Gullwings forward, activate it, it gains plus 1000 power until the end of turn. So I'm not sure how useful that second ability is, but she's a 6 cost, and she can get out, I think they're like 4 cost Gullwings, so she becomes essentially a 2-drop for 8k, which is really good. And that's the foil, so Kazusa, Sid 11, Eiko, and Kane. Now Kane's a hero, 3 cost 9k. When a dark forward of your opponent enters the field, your opponent gains control of Kane. When a dark forward you control is put from the field into the break zone, your opponent gains control of Kane. So lots of Kane just betraying you as he does. That's his thing. But yeah, for a 3 cost 9k, if your opponent doesn't have any dark cards, and you probably run dark forwards as well if you're having Kane in your deck, so you can get him back if someone tries to steal him. We have Celes, Dragoon, Shinra, Summoner, Siren, Bahamut, Pavlov, another Bahamut, the same one but in foil, Pain, so she is a 4-drop Gullwing, excellent choice for old Yuna. Cypher, Moogle Brothers, and Paul. Now Paul was definitely doing some work in the pre-release, because he's a 2-drop with 4000 power, cannot be blocked by cost 3 or more. When Paul deals damage to your opponent puts top 5 cards of his or her deck into the break zone. Now, I did go against this, and I got milled 20 cards, which was very, very painful. Safe to say that I lost that one, but it was interesting to see Paul at his best. Ooh. Get these out. There we go. So we've got Warrior, Sahagin, Monk, Sid Hayes, Dragoon, Militesi Coel, Evoker, a foil Shock Trooper, Kazusa, Draco Baltian, Raijin, and Legend Garland. So if you control a Job Princess, the Job Knight forwards you control gain Brave. Then he has S ability, 1 fire, Blaze. Choose 1 forward, deal it 7,000 damage. Round Edge, S ability, 2 fire, 1 of anything. Choose 1 forward, break it, deal 5,000 to all the forwards opponent controls. So Round Edge is clearly amazing because that's a lot of damage. And if they're in aggro deck with lots of little guys, you just kill them all. If you're against Chocobos, you've just killed all of their Chocobos. Still, Garland, I believe, is still the only knight in fire. So you're going to have to run him with water or lightning, or maybe both. Maybe you have water, lightning, fire, just a little splash of fire just for your Garland. But giving them all Brave is excellent, especially with stuff like Steiner and Beatrix and things like that. And Ramza as well, I think. There we go. So Chocobog, Summoner, Alcid, Evoker, Chocobo, Quetzalcoatl, Evoker, Foil Geomancer, Sid 11, Hugh, Thordan 7th, and Amaric. So Amaric doesn't receive damage that is less than his power, and when Amaric attacks, all the forwards other than Amaric you control gain 2,000 power until the end of turn. Seeing as he's a 9k, it doesn't matter too much that he doesn't get the 2,000 himself, but Water is getting some really nice, like, there's a lot of potential for a mono water deck, I think. I know it says all forwards, so it doesn't have to be in mono water, and it's a shame he's not a knight either. He is Lord Commander of the Temple Knights instead. But yeah, I think there's a lot of potential for Amaric. He's definitely a good choice in pre-release as well. Doomtrain, Raptor, Soldier, Bard, Ward, Templar, Summoner, a Foil Kurasame, Wingvern, Ramu, Mushusu, and Mont Blanc. So Mont Blanc's a hero with Fire, Dull, choose 1 forward, deal it 2,000 damage for each category FFTA2 forward you control. Then we have Evoker, Celes, Dark Knight, Astrologian, Militesi, Coel, Ward, Zu, Ramu is the foil, Fujin, Emina, Adia, and Ajido Marujido. So when it enters the field, select one of the 2 following. Cast 1 summon from your hand without paying the cost, or choose 2 summons in your break zone, add them to your hand. Now the first one's really good if you have like something like Raiden in your hand. I think Raiden's a 9 cost normally. And the second ability is just amazing for if you've been spamming out things with like Garnet and Minwu, and you just get them back. And you can use them for CP if you want. You can get them, use them for CP, get them back, summon everything you possibly can with your cards, and just win. Chocomorg, Kate Sith, Summoner, Chime, Bard, Voker, Siren, a Foil Spiritus, who is a hero. So when Spiritus, he can be played onto the field even if you have other dark cards. You can play 2 or more dark characters onto the field, and when Spiritus enters the field, you may search for 1 dark forward and add it to your hand. So kind of like Chaos, but you get to search instead of getting the dull for any colour. Pain, Snow, Estinian, and it's my boy Firion. So I really like Firion, and I like his card a lot, and I want to make a Final Fantasy II deck because of him. But if you control a Job Rebel forward, the cost for playing Firion onto the field is reduced to 2, so it becomes 2 drop 8k. If your opponent has 3 or more forwards, Firion gains plus 1,000 power and haste, so 9 cost with haste. I mean, sorry, not 9 cost. 2 drop, 9,000 power with haste, and put 1 back up into your break zone until the end of the turn. Firion gains First Strike and Brave. Now, with I quite like killing my own backups. That's the thing I quite enjoy actually, because there's limited backup room, and sometimes you want the on-enter abilities more than once. Or if you got like Thordan on-enter looks for a card from your deck, and then when he dies, you draw a card. But it's hard to, he's a water card, and it's hard to kill backups in water. So if Firion kills him, draws you a card, you can then play him again, get another card, and then maybe draw another card. And also stuff with Princess Hilda, she draws up to 4, and she draws 1 for each of your forwards. And if you're just starting to get low on hand, you just kill her off bring her back another time, and you get lots of cards. So I think killing a backup is perfectly fine. I think Furin's a really, really good card. 9k to drop with haste and first strike and brave. Obviously, if you kill a backup, it's kind of like paying for 2 and more CP because, well, I mean, if it's a little backup, then yeah, but it's hard to say. It's very, very strange, but I do like the Furin a lot. I also like the Guy and the Minwoo. Hopefully I get to see Minwoo, because Minwoo is amazing. So we have Gigas, Doomtrain, Raptor, Bahamut, White Mage, Summoner, Pavlov, a Foil Titan, Cornelia, Wingvern, Moogle Brothers, and Dark Knight. So, Dark Lord. Dark Lord's a bit of an interesting one. When Dark Lord enters the field, remove the top 10 cards of your deck from the game. At the beginning of the attack phase, choose one of you forward, deal it 3000 damage. So 3000 damage is nice, but removing 10 cards from your deck is a lot. I thought when I first saw that, I thought, oh, this set's going to have some way to work with removed cards from the game. It's like, that's pretty interesting. And it doesn't really, no, but I'm not sure how much play Dark Lord will see because of it. Warrior, Paladin, Dark Knight, ooh, the 3/14 tanks there. Summoner, Templar, Shock Trooper, Evoker. Then we have a Foil Layla, Snow Giant, Selfie, Leviathan, and Shuyin. When Shuyin enters the field, choose one forward with power inferior to Shuyin's. You control of this forward until the end of the turn. So I luckily managed to avoid that on pre-release because I had such big guys, which is also why I sort of died to the pool. So at that one point, but you can't take anything that's bigger than, or that's equal to Shuyin. So Dragoon, Machinist, Goblin, Sahagin, Dragoon, Sid Hayes, Chime, Renoa, Foil, who is a legend, so it's Legend Ice. When Renoa enters the field, choose one forward other than Renoa you control, remove it from the game, then play it onto the field dull. This is really good because Ice has a lot of on-enter abilities, like a lot of on-enter freeze, dull something, on-enter your opponent discards cards. So Renoa is going to be able to keep on doing that, and I think that's going to really help Ice. Not that they needed it, but I think it's going to make Ice even more deadly. Then we have Fujin, Emina, Rube Dragon, and Spiritus. Spiritus we've already seen. Then Chocomog, Tyros, El Cid, Locke, Cracktua, Colossus, Dominion Legionary, Chocomog in foil, Riku, Hades, Raijin, and Cryo 14. So pay 1 Earth, pay 1 of anything, dull. Choose one forward you control. During this turn, it cannot be returned to its owner's hand by your opponent's summons or abilities. Amazing against all those really annoying Leviathan decks. Although, oh yeah, summon done abilities. So yeah, it's really good for that. Nice to just have on the back row. If they don't have any bouncing, she's just sort of chilling there, getting your CP, doing her job. So pretty good card. Summoner, Shinra, Zoo, Astrologian, Scholar, Black Mage, another Scholar in foil, Sid, 11, Moogle, Titan, and Laguna. So Laguna is a hero. When Laguna enters the field, you may search for one Squall and add it to your hand. So we already saw that other Squall, who's pretty good, so that's just a nice searcher for it. And Selfie in this also searches for Seed Cadets, so you got 2 searches for Squall. And also Thordan, 3 searches for Squall. Celes, I'll just skip through these. We've seen, I think, all of them at this point. Dragoon, and another legendary from 2. This is Maria. So Maria has dull. Choose one category 2 forward other than Maria. It gains plus 2000 power until the end of turn. And dull, deal 1000 damage to all your opponent's forwards, which is really good with Barbarisha, because it puts it all to 1k. Well, not all to 1k, but it deals damage to them minus 1k, equal to their power, and then you just kill them all off. And then 1 wind, dull, choose one forward. During this turn, the next damage dealt to it is reduced by 3000 instead, which is a lot. So that's actually a really nice card. She's only got 5000 power herself, so she does die to a lot of things, but you can keep her nice and safe with different cards. And it's a good card. I kind of want to go fire or water because Minwoo and Hilda and all that lot, but if you're going fire wind for your 2 deck, then she's definitely an amazing choice. There we go. So let's go through these. And we get a foil Fujin, and then a normal Fujin, and then, oh, taking a while to, yep, get Leon as well, Maria's brother. So he's a hero. When Leon enters the field, your opponent gains control of Leon. So you play it onto their field, essentially. And then when a Category 2 character of your opponent enters the field, your opponent gains control of Leon. So a nice one to do with this is Maria, because she's so cheap. So you play Leon onto their field, you play Maria onto yours, you get Leon back. Potentially, because you've got 2 rebels, you can just play Furion for 2 as well. So everything just becomes cheaper when the rebels are together, and everything becomes very dandy. So I don't rate Leon very highly, mostly because, I mean, he's a 1-drop with 8,000 power, that's a lot. But at the same time, I just don't find his skills very exciting, so I don't bother with him. Paladin, Doom Train, Raptor, Dark Knight, Chocobo, Quetzalcoatl, blah blah, and another foil legend, which is Cypher. So when Cypher blocks or is blocked, choose 1 forward opponent controls, it loses 2,000 power until the end of the turn. When Cypher deals damage to your opponent, all the forwards opponent controls lose 2,000 power until the end of the turn, which is amazing, and I love the artwork as well. Like, I'm not a fan of Cypher because it's just, he's like typical American school bully sort of thing. But with Fujin and Raijin, Fujin gives him first strike, Raijin gives him haste. Also, Fujin looks for Cypher as well. So Cypher deck could be pretty cool if you have this Cypher and the No Mercy Cypher as well. There is another Cypher in here, and I kept on skipping over him, but I can't actually remember what he does. But I really like this card. I used it in pre-release a lot. It was really fun to use, and good time. And then we got these guys, whatever. Then we got Scott, another 2 card. All the 2 cards coming out now. So Scott's a 3 cost with 4,000 power. That's lower than usual, but for every backup you control, Scott gains plus 1,000 power, so he can go up to 9,000. And if you control a card named Hilda, Scott and Gordon gain Brave, which is very nice. Hilda is a backup in this, and there isn't a new Gordon in this set, but the old Gordon is the one that dulls and cancels the damage dealt to him. So those are both very good, and I love this artist. Like, all of his works in this set is so good. I really, really like it. He also did the guy as well. Oh, there we go. So, go for these. Seen all these before, nothing exciting. Ward, Moogle, Deer Pervin, whatever, and Vermilion Bird Lassie Keichuna. So she's a 6-drop. If your forward is dealt damage by a fire summon, the damage is increased by 1,000 instead. When Vermilion Bird Lassie Keichuna enters the field, you may search for 1 fire summon of 4 or less and cast it without paying the cost. If you do not, the summon is put the summon into the break zone. Really, really nice, and especially nice for the deck I'm building, because I'm going to have like Minwoo and Keichuna and have lots of fire, big guys doing lots of damage and burning lots of stuff. And I really want to get Minwoo in this box now just to show you how good he is. But Ninja, Yuan, Soldier, Chime, Locke, Cactuar, Colossus, Foil Shinra, Kazusa, Thordan, Ramu, Kurusame. Yep. Warrior, Machinist, Doom Train, Shock Trooper, I don't know why I'm saying these, just skip past them. Pain, Raijin, blah blah blah. Minfilia. So when Minfilia enters the field, choose 2 characters from your break zone and add them to your hand. Pay 2 Earth, 1 of anything, and Dull. Put Minfilia into the break zone, choose 1 light or dark character, break it, which includes backups as well, which is really good for if your opponent's using like, if they're using Camelot now, you need to use it right away, otherwise they'll just change element. But if they have like Chaos or something like that, or you can't use it against the Emperor, unfortunately, but yeah, if it's against Chaos or Spiritus, then it's just dead. Pretty good. Scholar foil. And Guy, another 2 card. We've already gone through Guy, but still, more Final Fantasy 2 is always welcome. Jido Marajido foil. Oh, there we go. There we go. There's the Minwu. So, he's a 4-drop water with 7,000 power. When Minwu enters the field, reveal 5 cards from the top of your deck, add 1 summon from among them into your hand, and return the others to the bottom of your deck in any order. When Minwu attacks, you may cast 1 summon of cost 4 or less from your hand without paying the cost. So you get a free summon every turn. That's amazing. And so you sort of, I'm just gonna like fill my deck with loads of little summons, and can even get some extra attacks in if you want to use like Phoenix to bring back something with haste or something like that. But honestly, Minwu is going to be amazing. I'm very looking forward to using it. So, soldier, blah, 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 blah. Get the foil pull, and then go through these, and we get a Ricard with EX, 5-drop. When Ricard enters the field, you may search for 1 card named Scott, Minwu, or Joseph, and add it to your hand. Ricard must block if possible. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see a new Joseph. It would have been nice to see one. But searching for Minwu, always very, very good. Gotta get Minwu. Then the foil Zoo. Hades, Selfie, Ultimisia, and Materia. Materia is basically Spiritus but in light form, so she allows you to play extra light characters onto the field, and she searches for a light card. So yes, light finally do have a card that searches for light cards. Before it was only dark, but Kamala now, but we got her now. So I'm not the biggest fan of Materia, to be honest. Playing Dissidia NT. And we get Hilda! Oh yes, so more 2 cards. I love 2. When Hilda enters the field, draw a card for each forward you control. You can only draw up to 4 cards. Still, that's 8 CP in hand, and new possibilities for what to bring onto the field. And seeing as like a lot of the 2 cards are quite cheap. Like there's nothing, apart from Scott, I mean not Scott, apart from Ricard, I think there was nothing over 4 drops, so it's getting a lot of value out of that, and I really like Hilda. So go through these, skip. Then this guy again in foil, and Selfie, blah blah blah, and Mont Blanc again. Evoker foil, Riku from Melda. The reason I'm doing that is because for some reason the back card keeps like pushing upwards, so I'm just pushing it down to prevent it from getting damaged when I open the pack. Cactuar foil, Ultimisia. Here's the other cipher. Okay, when cipher enters the field, you may search for a witch and add it to your hand. So I think the only 2 witches we have in this set are Ultimisia and a deer. A deer does search for another witch, like you break a deer and search for another witch, so you can keep on getting Ultimisias back. The great thing about Ultimisias is both of them have an S ability, and if you can only, the one from Opus 1 is really good, but it's also a legend. If you could only afford 1 or 2, you can just get this one because it's a single, it's a rare, so you just bring out the one you want and use her as fodder for the S ability. And then we get her again. So, if anything, this Ultimisia is pretty good too, because at the end of your opponent's turn, you can dull 3 of your forwards. Choose one of their forwards and dull it. And then Knight's Arrow, S ability, pay 1 water, choose 2 forwards, dull the first, and activate the other. So you dull another one of theirs, activate one of yours. You just sort of slowly lose, make your opponent lose all of their defenses. And Borgen, another 2 card. Ice doesn't really have many 2s in this. I think this is the only ice card in 2. for this set. Otherwise, we have like the Emperor and Joseph. But when Bolgan is put from the field to the break zone, your opponent discards one card from his or her hand. So he is just a 1-drop 3k. You just block with him whenever you can, and your opponent loses another card. And Kiros there. Go through these. Got a foil Moogle. I think that's 3 of those Moogles now. And Estinian, so another legend. So 5-drop lightning with 8,000 power. If you control 5 or more backups, Estinian gains haste. When Estinian is blocked, break the blocking forward. Pay 1 lightning, activate Estinian. Estinian can attack once more this turn. You can only use this ability during your turn and once per turn, which is I'm glad that restriction's there. But yes, that Estinian is amazing. It's probably one of the best legends in this set. I'd say Minwu and Estinian are both really, really good. Yeah, just breaking whatever blocks you. So it doesn't even matter what it does matter what his power is in case you do burn damage or something. But 8,000 power for a 5 cost doesn't matter too much because your opponent blocks with a 20k and it's still dying anyway. And this is Prish, and you just bring back another Prish. So this is the last pack of the box, so let's see what we get. I'll just quickly go through these guys, because we've seen enough of them. 1 foil Sahagin, Cornelia again, Matt, Aiko, and the final card is Y'shtola. So Y'shtola is a hero. Y'shtola cannot be broken by summons and abilities that don't deal damage. If you control 3 or more Job Scion of the 7th Dawn, other than Y'shtola gains Brave. When Y'shtola attacks, choose 1 forward opponent controls. If you control 5 or more Scion of the 7th Dawns, other than Y'shtola, deal it 8,000 damage. So it's very similar to Ida in a way, though Ida does start at only 2k, and if you can remove abilities and stuff like that, or just remove all their Scions, Ida slowly gets weaker and weaker, or very quickly gets weaker and weaker depending on what your field is. But Y'shtola does keep her 8,000 power no matter what, so she is still strong. She can still take a lot of attacks before even if you destroy the rest of the field and she doesn't get her burn damage skill. I mean, she still can't just be broken by Odins and stuff like that. So that's pretty good. So that is everything from this box. I'm very happy with the Final Fantasy 2 cards. Got 3 legends, and I think it was like we've got Hilda, Borgen, Rickard, Guy, Scott, Leon. So yeah, I think there's 6. Oh, and Paul, 7. So 7 Final Fantasy 2 heroes as well. Very, very nice. So that's the deck I'm going to build. I'm also planning maybe building a Cypher deck, because I do find his card pretty fun, and I do like the No Mercy one in case I'm going against annoying aggro like Chocobos or something. But yeah, that's everything from this box. Remember, everything you see here can be bought and sold on bigorbitcards.co.uk, and please leave a comment on what you think of this set and how your pre-release went. Mine was, I won 2, lost 2, but it was still good, and I got 2 legends in my box. I think I got I got Cypher, and I can't remember what my foil legend was. It was Maria. Yeah, I got Maria. So yeah, that is everything from this. So I hope to see you next time for Opus 7, and anything else. We also do things for Vanguard and Weishvarts and Magic and stuff like that, so check those out if you want. But yeah, I'll see you then. Bye.